Hi, and welcome to another edition of What'cha Drinkin. My name is Stewart Tippler, and I'm the European representative for Quirks Media. I have the fortune of speaking tonight with the wonderful Jennifer Roberton, who is the MD for Respondi in the UK. Under her leadership, Respondi won the MRS Best Data Collection online for a pioneering study of attitudes among refugees in 12 countries across 3 continents, illustrating that her approach to research not only benefits commercial clients, but can be used to tackle and better understand complex issues of importance to society as a whole. She's also won the best paper at SMR Fusion back in 2018. And aside to this, Jennifer is the youngest board member of the Market Research Benevolent Charity, the only charity of its kind in the UK, helping UK researchers in financial crisis, offering educational grants, and also helping with their mental health and well-being. And also, most recently, she was appointed to the board of the Market Research Society. So, huge bio there. Welcome, Jenny. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
Excellent. And without further ado, what's you drinking this evening?
What am I drinking? Well, and you know, if you say that in an English accent, it's actually What'cha Drinkin. So, but I'm not watching my drinking at all. And today's drink is actually a rather large Aperol Spritz.
Nothing wrong with large measures. Tonight, I once again, shock horror for those who know me, I have a gin and tonic. And I thought I would make it topical. So we are drinking Brooklyn gin tonight. The exciting news that we've actually got is this week we announced the dates for our Quirks, not Brooklyn event in 2021, but it's going to be Quirks New York. So we're going to be in the Javits Centre on the 17th and 18th of August in 2021. So a bit of Brooklyn gin for me, Aperol Spritz for you, which I know you love. So cheers.
Cheers.
Excellent.
Thanks for having me.
So, Jenny, obviously, lots been going on. The pandemic is very much at everyone's minds at the moment. How have you been coping? How have the team at Respondi been coping during this difficult period?
Yeah, it's been crazy, and you know, it's incredibly sad that the globe has lost so many people to everything that's going on. Back down to I suppose our little world at Respondi, specifically for me, very much Respondi London. We've been doing okay. So we actually we went into lockdown a week before the government said so. So we're actually on day 90 today. I'm still keeping a calendar. It's a long time. So so the team are all safe and happy and healthy, and we've managed to really nail working from home, which has been amazing. I think it's been incredibly important for the facilitation of things like Zoom and those kinds of platforms that have just enabled us to still keep that kind of camaraderie together and still talk on a daily basis and make sure we keep that communication together has been amazing. It has definitely been a challenge. I think some of us have hit our lows earlier on in the time, and some of us have hit them around now. So yeah, it's definitely been a challenge. We're incredibly lucky actually at Respondi that a lot of our clients are academics. So we've been working with people like the Johns Hopkins University and Harvard and Stanford, doing loads of research in regards to the COVID pandemic itself. Work has been incredibly busy. Have seen a bit of a dip, I suppose, in kind of more of the FMCG kind of research pieces that we might usually do. Had a couple of projects put on hold that have had a bit of a dip, but yeah, we're just trying to kind of hold it together and carry on and do everything we can, really. So it's an interesting time.
And I've seen that obviously you've done a number of COVID-19 reports, as it were, and focusing on the impact and the effects in various different countries. Are you able to talk a bit about some of those reports and some of the findings on those?
Absolutely. So since lockdown happened, so we're actually headquartered in Germany. So we've got an office in Germany, we've got an office in Paris, and then I run the London office. And what we've been doing is actually we track people's web behavior. So we've been tracking kind of the pre-COVID and the post-COVID, and having a look at what that impact has actually been on how people are navigating the web. So every week we've been releasing what we've called a lockdown diary. Sounds a bit crazy, but we're in crazy times. And just seeing like kind of the differences in behavior and stuff really. So things like, you know, in France, for instance, people would maybe not necessarily use Google to search for recipes and home baking and things like that so often, but also, you know, we can look at things of people's web behavior in regards to the kinds of news that they're reading and consuming, and the impact that that then has on their attitudes towards, you know, the research that we're actually conducting as well, ultimately. So yeah, it's fascinating to see, I suppose, the difference between what people tell us they do versus their web behavior of what they're actually doing, and the fears and kind of so on that they're actually having when they're on their own, in their own personal web space.
Sure. And as I mentioned in the bio, obviously you're a board member for the MRBA, and obviously, unfortunately, in these tough times, there's been situations where people may have lost their jobs or have been furloughed. What's been the effect and the impact, and what have the MRBA been able to do during the pandemic as such?
Yeah, for those who are listening that don't know who the MRBA are, we're a charity that is, as Stewart said earlier, or you said earlier, the kind of one of a kind, really. So we're really helping researchers or people, anyone that works in the UK market research industry in crisis. So, and obviously all of us are in a massive crisis right now. Like you say, there's people that have lost their jobs. They might not even be on furlough. They might have been made redundant, all sorts of things. You know, there's a lot of great government schemes out there to help you pause your mortgage and to help you pay council tax and things like that. But it's all those kind of day-to-day things. It's like the food and things like that. So which really is, for a lot of people in our industry, particularly, you know, interviewers or face-to-face interviewers that would have been out on the street interviewing and holding up all of that for us, who just have no income anymore at all. So the MRBA is fantastic that, you know, we can give people, you know, grants and loans and, you know, and pay for people's, whether it be their bills, whether it be their, you know, food, all sorts of things, or whether it's that people have now got the time on their hands to spend time kind of educating themselves. And so we have educational bursaries as well, just to support people going forward. There's nothing we ask for it. We have amazing you know, corporate patrons that, you know, donate money to us, or, you know, raise funds for us so that we can help those in our industry that are most in need. So yeah, it's been a really interesting time to be on the board of the MRBA at the moment, but just so worthwhile. And just to see, you know, obviously I can't talk about individual cases, but just to see that people's, you know, electricity is being paid for, or food's on their table, or their kids get birthday presents and things like that, is just, honestly, there's just nothing else compares, really.
No, and I'll echo that. I know the hard work that the MRBA does. Obviously, I know Linda and the team, including yourself, obviously do a fantastic job. Obviously, just before we went into lockdown, you had the great news that you were on inducted onto the MRS board, and am I right in saying possibly one of the younger members of the team on the board?
I might be. I'm not sure I'm the youngest. I'm not sure I want to claim that, but yeah, it was amazing. There was I think overall there was 16 candidates that were up.
Yeah.
The 5 board places. So yeah, I was incredibly chuffed. I don't even know if that's the proper word, but just to like, for everyone that I know in the industry to nominate me and believe in me and trust in me. So I ran for the board really to just really be an advocate for like mental health in our industry. There's been suicides and there's been things like that that have happened in our industry that I think many people are unaware of. And you know, sometimes our industry is a very, very solitary place. Whether it's writing reports late into the night, whether it's, you know, field work on your own and things like that. So it can be a real challenge. So that was one of my main reasons for running, but also the young researchers. So I never went to university myself. So I just want to make sure that, like, you know, and I've managed to become managing director of a business and achieve, you know, to be on the MRS board and stuff. So I just wanted to really be an advocate as well for, you know, those young researchers that maybe feel that they haven't quite got everything they need, and to make sure that they have everything they need to go forward.
Cool. And I mean, anything that promotes obviously the market research industry to the young, it's not necessarily the most, as I think Finn from SMR once said, it's not necessarily the most sexiest of industries out there. But anything that we can do to promote and market our industry, and bring in new blood in there with new ideas is obviously going to be
absolutely. And the Market Research Society are fantastic at that. So all of their like training courses have gone online now. Obviously and kind of married up with the MRBA, we're providing grants so that people can take the MRS advanced certificate. Maybe they've been furloughed, so they've got that time to take it and so on. So, but the MRS haven't, and it's called And More, which is the young researchers. Yeah. I think you have to be 30 and under, so not sure why they've let me be part of it.
Well, you're pretty much there. I'm long gone. I'm long gone. So
I may be on that. But yeah, the effort that the MRS have put into kind of bringing young people up into the industry and stuff has been amazing. So I'll keep championing that, and it's a lovely industry to be part of. It might not be the sexiest, but it's a home that you won't want to leave. So.
So it's normally about this time of the interview where we pull a question out the hat. So I'm just going to do that. And, this is a good one. Basically, what has been your best night within the market research industry? So obviously for those people who know both myself and you, know we occasionally go to the odd party and obviously networking events. What's been your best event in the market research industry?
So I have two actually. So one, well, obviously there's the many research club nights that I think everyone's had and lived through. Ended up in karaoke bars and God knows what, and it's kind of where all the friendships are formed and stuff, which is really why it is such a lovely, like, close-knit industry, and you know, you can really make some lovely friends out of it. There's one that involves McDonald's at about 5 o'clock in the morning, which was hilarious.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. That was it Dublin in 2016, I think, at the SMR Congress?
About 42 cheeseburgers ordered from McDonald's in an Uber.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. But actually, there's one that's super close to my heart. So a couple of years ago, I was actually in hospital, and I was actually I'd actually entered for the MRS Oppies Award in 2017. So I think I put my submission in 2016. And I was actually in hospital on the night that the awards happened, the Oppies Awards. And I got a FaceTime from my team saying that we'd won. So although I wasn't there, that was literally like the most amazing thing, to be there, but also to have the team enjoy that kind of success of everything that we'd been through that year. So, and a little pat on the back for me, which was huge.
Jenny, great story. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on What'cha Drinkin. Stay safe. I look forward to the day when we're able to get actually back together, have a few drinks. You know what I'll be drinking, I know what you'll be drinking. But take care, stay safe. Keep doing a great job at Respondi, and
thank you so much. Cheeseburgers on me.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. See you later.